In this lesson, I'll show you 5 transactions related to rectification of errors so that you can prepare for your exam or test. So we have taken these 5 transactions from 2023 February-March series IGCSE accounting exam paper. So what is the question? Rai is a trader. He has prepared his trial balance at 31st January 2023. The credit side total $152 more than the debit side. Okay, Rai placed this difference in a suspense account. Okay, so trial balance is not balanced, so credit amount more than the debit amount. Okay, debit total. So how much it is? $152. Okay, so he balanced somehow. He write $152 as a suspense in the trial balance so he can prepare the income statement. Okay, so later he discovered some errors. So what is the first one? Number one, wages $200 had been entered in the cash book but omitted from the wages account. So here the correct transitions will be wages account to be debited and cash account to be credited. Yeah, so there is no mistake with the credit account, which is cash. So mistake is wages. Okay, he did not record the wages, so now he needs to record wages. Yeah, so wages is an expense, so wages is a normal debit account. Okay, it is also a nominal account. Okay, so wages account to be debited, okay, to rectify these errors, and suspense account to be credited. So let's write here the number. Here we will write 1. So sometime in the question given as date, sometime number. Okay, we can write it here number. Okay, so here we will write wages account to be debited and suspense account to be credited. Okay, the amount is on the question $200 on the debit side and $200 on the credit side. Okay, so first transition done. Today here in this lesson I will not show you how to write narrative. Here on the question also it is not requirement to write narrative. I have some other tutorials on this topic, so there I showed how to write narratives. If you want you can watch the playlist. I'll link in the description. Okay, so great. Our second transaction is here. Credit purchase $247 from Stella had been debited to the Stella's account and credited to the purchase account. Okay, so this is an error of complete reversal. Yeah, debit account had been credited, credit account had been debited. Yeah, so here purchase on credit. What is the correct transactions? Purchase account to be debited and Stella's account to be credited. Yeah, but here mistakenly this business, Stella's account had been debited and purchase account had been credited, which is not correct at all. Okay, if we see this type of error on the question, means error of complete reversal, you will just double the amount. Okay, so here on the question the amount is given as 247. If we double this amount, it will be 494. Yeah, okay, good. So what is the correct journal? Here purchase is debited. Yeah, purchase is an expense, expense is a normal debit account. Yeah, so expense will be debited, and Stella is a supplier. Yeah, Stella is our liability for this business, so liability is here increasing, so increase in liability will be credited, you know, because liability is already credit account. So let us write here number 2, purchase account to be debited and Stella account to be credited. Yeah, so as I told you, we need to double this amount, so it will be 494 on the debit side and same on the credit side. Okay, so we finished number 2. Now we have number 3. The rent payable account and the sales account both have been overcast by $100. Sales account has been overcast by 100. At the same time, rent payable account has been overcast by 100. Okay, so let us rectify it. So sales account had been overcast. Now to rectify, we need to decrease sales by 100. Yeah, So you know sales is a revenue. So decrease in revenue will be debited, okay, and increase in revenue will be credited. Here we need to decrease sales by $100 as it is overcost. Okay, so to decrease we need to debit. So let us write here number 3, sales account to be debited. Okay, the amount is on the question $100. Okay, now what about rent payable? Rent is an expense. Yeah, here expense has already been overcost by $100. Now we need to decrease rent by 100. Yeah, so rent is an expense. It has a debit balance. Normally it is a debit account. Okay, so if we decrease expense, it will be credited. If we increase expense, it will be debited. So here we will decrease rent, which is an expense, so it will be now credited. Yeah, so let us write here rent on the credit side $100. Okay, so simple, but you need to understand. If you understand, whatever transactions you have on the questions, you'll be able to generalize on the exam. Okay, great. Then we have here number 4. A check for motor expenses $75 had been debited twice to the motor expenses account. Okay, so double, 2 times motor expenses had been debited. Okay, now what to do? Now we need to decrease motor expense. Yeah, so it is an expense. So when 2 times it is debited, that means motor expense has been doubled. Okay, 75 plus 75, it had been 150. Now we need to decrease half, means 75, then it will be correct. Yeah, so it is an expense. I told you when I explained this one, it is an expense. Expense mistakenly increased. Now we need to decrease motor expense. So to decrease motor expense, it will be credited. Yeah, so what will be here? Debited. Here our debit account is suspense. Okay, so let us write here number 4, suspense account to be debited and motor expenses to be credited. Yeah, so we will write $75 on the debit column and same on the credit column. Okay, finished. Our next transaction is here number 5, the last one. A payment to Jasper $196 had been recorded as $169 in Jasper's account. So mistake in writing the amount. Correct amount was 196. Yeah, but mistakenly this amount is written as 169. Okay, this is wrong. So what mistake happens here? So if we subtract this amount, we get 27. Yeah, so Jasper's account should be 196 but written less by 27, written as 169. Now we need to increase Jasper's account by $27. Okay, so Jasper is a personal account, so here Jasper will be receiver. Yeah, we need receiver account to be debited and giver's account will be credited. Here Jasper is a receiver, so we will debit Jasper's account. Okay, so let us write here number 5, Jasper account to be debited and suspense account to be credited. Okay, so now tell me which amount we write, this or this 27. Well, if you said it is 27, you are absolutely correct. So this amount was little less, so we will pay now this $27 to rectify that error. So on the debit side 27 and on the credit side 27. So we finished generalizing all these 5 transactions given on the question. But next tutorial will be very important because there I will show you how to prepare a suspense account. We will check after rectification these errors, the suspense account is balancing or not.